often at times we don't see things how they are, but we see things how we are. But what if how we are is mostly related to our past? Even yesterday is still our past. Everything we see will not be as clear, and our perception of our world will be so different to how we behave to ourselves and to others. Now, this might seem very simplistic, but the energy that we give out as a result of what we see in our own narrow lens can somehow be devastating. Hi, I'm Toyin Okanuga. I'm your girl, your Hush to Raw girl. I am your self-realization mindset expert. Yes, in my field, as I've said in a lot of my videos, I talk about mindset. I talk about childhood trauma and how what we've experienced in our past as children and adolescents, how it affects us as adults. And yes, I am so drawn into this mainly because of my own personal experience. And so over the years, I've had to heal from a lot of traumatic events. And like most of us, we've experienced one thing or the other. I mean, a lot of families can be dysfunctional or are dysfunctional, one way or the other. And we can't live on this earth without sort of going through a wave of, or many waves of traumatic events. It's just how we navigate our ways through, and how broad is our view, and how do we see things in that holistic way so that we can grow out of the pain that we've been in for so long. So yes, most of the time when we look at things, we look at the things how we are, not as they are. So yes, and I say that from my own personal perspective, the way I used to look at things, the way I even still have to pull myself back to say, you know what, Toyin, that pain that you had, let's now transform that to personal possibilities. And where am I going with that? Well, when I was going through what I went through as a child, growing up, even becoming an adult, I could never see things clearly just the way they were. And I know that a lot of us have experienced devastating events in recent years due to the pandemic, and a lot of us hadn't healed before that hit us, and that meant that you'd always be in a state of anxiety, a state of confusion, and also that painful past. You would be stuck there and you would not see the beautiful possibilities in front of you. I know I did not see that for so many years, but today I want to talk to you about how our future is so bright if only we look at things from the angle of personal possibilities. Yes, so painful past, we all had it. We've all had it. Some of us will still have, you know, things that crop up that will sort of like bring to us those painful memories that we project into our future. And I can tell you that it will only do you more worse than good, because when we stay stuck or we keep bringing our past into our future, we will not make the neurons in our brain to fire and wire new connections to see what we are able to do in our future. I didn't mention, yes, I am studying my course in psychology and neuroscience in mental health. The reason I got to study this was because I got so interested in why people do what they do, and how do we get affected if we've been traumatized in the past? But most importantly, how can we make things better? How can we create the awareness that, guys, things that happened to us in the past, we need to heal from, so that we get back to the center of equilibrium and start acting out in a beautiful possibility way. So that's why I'm studying what I'm studying, and I can assure you it's an amazing course. I think everyone should really be doing psychology, even from secondary school or primary school, so that we know that our mind, our brain is so primary. In fact, it's the only thing that would inform how we behave, from our thinking, our thoughts, to our feeling, to our choosing, creates our reality. So possibilities, 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 possibilities. Oh my word. So what I'd like to say today is that when we start to think only of the memory of our past in an elevated way of emotions, that emotional charge will be down regulated, and the only thing that we'll use the memory of our past for will be to influence a positive way in our future, and that is wisdom. So when our thoughts, the memories that we've had in our past, only influence how we can see possibilities in that elevated state of emotion, it means we can bring the awareness to everyone to say, guys, this is what you happen if you think that way and you carry out that feeling to an action. This is the negative thing that will happen. But what if you use that thought to project something possible in your life? Where am I going with this? So my life, oh my gosh, I feel so at peace now. And it all stemmed from when I started to have a thought so many years ago that what I'm going through is debilitating. Can I really carry on my life without talking, without saying what I've gone through, so I can heal? And I went through so many emotional battles with myself until I said, no, I can't carry on like this. And I started to project, I started to think, unknowingly, be known to me that this is already a formula out there by so many other fantastic neuroscientists and, you know, psychologists. I started to think, what if I start thinking about what I really want to have in the future? So when I started to do those things, I could see myself standing, like I'd got my degree and I was already standing with my degree, and I'd sort of like passed my exams, everything, and I hadn't at that state, but I started to get myself into a regular state of possibilities. When I did that, I realized that I was getting happier. I was getting happier, and I was getting more ways of thinking how I would progress and how I would heal by speaking. And then I started to have the theory of, one day I'm going to go to schools, I'm going to talk to them about different secrets, I'm going to talk to them about being confident, even though I wasn't confident at that stage. And by that time, I realized that everything I was doing, it was almost as if there was some magnetic field around me that was pushing me. Today I know it's God that said, Toyin, you will go there. So today I want to say that when I said all those things, I can assure you right now, those things have come to pass. They are still coming. They're here. So I've gone to speak to children in schools. I've been to my community. I've spoken to teenagers about their mental well-being, and it felt, this is me in my element. And that is about possibilities. So what I have done is that though I have been talking about my past, I've not talked about it in a victim manner. So when you want to talk about your past, please heal first, because if you do not heal, anytime you tell someone about your past, you're going to let your brain get familiar with that past, and it will keep pulling you back and not projecting you into possibilities that you have. So now when I talk about my past, it's because I want to use it as fuel to sort of like skyrocket me to the future, but also to inform others about how we need to change our thoughts so that our feelings will be different, our actions will be positive, and we'll stop doing horrific things that will make people have terrible futures. So yeah, that's it from me today. Just to say that when you have a past, you have to heal. You have to go through what I'll say your Sarah G, my Sarah G model. In one of my videos you can see that. And once you heal your past that you talk about, it will not be from an angle of victimization, but it will be an angle of awareness that would push you into possibilities, that this is the reason why you've said it, and it will give you that elevated emotion where your brain will start thinking like today that you're saying you have that thought, it will be projecting it to the future. Why? Because our brain does not know the difference between what we're thinking about that is positive today or something that we're saying will happen in the future. So that brain, the neurons that will be firing will be thinking that the gratitude that we're feeling today about our possibilities in the future is happening. And that is what gratitude is. So I feel gratitude now because of my future then. And now my brain is going to start releasing those brain chemicals that are positive, dopamine, and everything that will be releasing in my brain will be like, I've already received what I am yet to receive, if that makes sense. And that is what gratitude is. That is what the personal power of possibilities is, when you say, I can feel my future, so I feel grateful for what I feel, and the brain will feel that you have it now, instead of thinking of the past in a negative way where the brain also thinks it's happening now. And in that case, you'll be releasing the sort of like stressors, the stress hormones, and it will be affecting you negatively. So let's try and convert that into possibilities so that our brain chemicals will release the positive hormones that will make us elevated in our emotions, and it will make our immune system stronger because we are thinking positively in the future, for the future. So guys, this is real. Oh my gosh, my course, I'm seeing things, I'm like, oh my gosh, so that's what happens to our brain. Oh my gosh, so that's the protein we release, so we have magnetic field. I will be telling you guys all about my course, so please don't go anywhere, and subscribe to Hush to Raw so you don't miss a video. Where did all this start from? It started from my Hush to Raw, so don't forget to get your Hush to Raw so you can see where my journey began. Guys, I love you. Remember, your inner child has a voice. Don't suppress it. Let it roar. Thanks for watching, guys.